Okay. Welcome, everyone. I'll now call the meeting to order. First item is confirmation of quorum. CAO, do we have confirmation of quorum?
We do have quorum.
Thank you. The next item is declaration of conflicts of interest. Does anybody have any conflicts to declare? Okay. So next up would be the adoption of the agenda. It would now take a mover to adopt the agenda in its current form. Do I have a mover?
I move.
Move.
Can I make an amendment to the agenda?
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Just to remove the 11C branding strategy proposal.
Okay.
I was hopeful that I would have a second proposal in for this evening's meeting, but I don't have that yet, so I feel like we can postpone that till we have both proposals in.
Okay. So it would take a motion to adopt the amended agenda, eliminating 11C. Do I have a mover? Moved by Councillor Esty. Do I have a seconder?
Second.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor Jean Gras. Are we ready for the question?
Question.
We'll now proceed with the vote. All those in favor of adopting the amended agenda show your consent by saying yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Next, we will be looking to adopt the minutes from the January 21st regular meeting as presented. Do I have a mover? Moved by Councillor Savoie. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Martin.
Excuse me.
Are we ready for the question?
Question.
We'll now proceed with the vote. All those in favor of adopting the January 21st regular meeting minutes show your consent by saying yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. So next up is questions from the public. CAO Downey, have we had any submitted questions?
I have no submitted questions from the public.
Do we have any questions from the floor? Okay. Come on up to the podium. We'll give you a mic so that everybody can hear you. Could you tell us your name?
Annette Gallagher.
Annette Gallagher.
Yeah, I'm from Canaan Station. I had talked to somebody on the phone about a light being installed in Canaan Station, and it meets like the St. Paul Road. And I think I was in contact with somebody by phone. I forget who. You?
I think it was probably me.
What's your name?
Oh,
Hannah.
Yes, it's Chanel. And I was expecting an answer, but I didn't get one.
So-
But I guess the Chandery president of the St. Paul Community Center, he said that it had been accepted.
So this is the same location that we had the streetlight request for?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yes, we approved that at the last.
So you did approve it?
Yes.
Okay, I
So
just
it's
wanted.
coming.
Okay, no, I just wanted to make sure, because I heard from somebody else, but I never heard from Chanel again.
Okay.
So I was just
Okay.
wondering.
Sorry we
make
didn't get
sure.
back to you, but yes.
No, that's
Now we're
fine.
just waiting for MB Power.
That's perfect, that's perfect.
Okay, well,
Okay,
that was a good question. We had a good answer for that one.
Thank you, thank you.
I did reach out to the CAO there, Tina Bitcoin, for Chandery.
Okay,
Because I think she was receiving quite a few of the requests there in her office.
okay,
And I just told her if anybody calls with the request, because we did get quite a few phone calls on it.
yeah.
So-
Because I just thought, now was the time, because the Power Commission is still, are they still there? Is K&M still there working, putting up lights? So they're still putting them up, so I thought it would be better to do it now than,
Well, hopefully we catch them while they're there.
Yeah.
We've put the.
it'd probably
put it
be
in,
less
so.
expensive if you did while they're there. You know what I mean? So,
Are you guys dealing with Pactush or Moncton?
Probably.
Actually, the gentleman that I deal with he's out of Fredericton, actually. So I'm not really sure who he deals with, where he sends the order to. But the work order was already put in, back in, was it November, December? We put the work order in, and then we put a hold on it because I wanted to make sure that my council was okay with that decision. So the poll had already been marked, so it should be done fairly quickly.
okay.
Yeah.
Can I have another question?
Sure.
Okay, so is there any grants available to apply for, like in Maple Hills? Is there any grants
So
we could?
For what? Like, I guess.
For
what
like a
is the-
community improvement.
We do have a grant policy, and there is a $500, a maximum of $500 grants that are awarded to community groups. We also tend to lean towards kids' sports, but we have had a couple of community groups that we have awarded the grants to. There's a grant application available. It's online. We just discussed this evening how currently it has to be printed and filled out. We are gonna get that changed so that you can fill it out online, but, yeah, the grants are available, or the grant applications are available and they're
Are you
submitted.
talking about donations or grants?
Grants.
Okay, because I don't like to compare, but in Champ Doré, there's a lot of grants. And like $100,000, $3,000, $100,000
Oh,
grants
yeah, we currently don't.
available to apply for.
Yeah, we currently don't have a budget for anything that size.
How come they do and we can't?
Their tax rate's likely higher than yours as a Maple Hills resident. The grant money is part of the budget, so if we were to increase the amounts that we were to give of a grant, which we could potentially do, but we would have to increase your tax rate to cover the cost of it. So we've currently sit at a pretty modest grant budget. And in all honesty, we haven't really had a whole lot of interest come our way that would indicate that we needed to change that. I don't even think we used all of the grant budget last year.
No, we did not.
So I guess it would need, for us to look at it, at increasing it or offering larger ones, we'd need to have public interest in that somebody would come to us, we'd
Okay.
have repeated requests for a higher
But-
amount.
But there's probably like provincial grants or stuff like that then that I could go to.
It's possible. I guess it would
Yeah.
depend on what you were looking for.
Yeah, okay. All right.
RDC might be a good resource for you to reach out to ask those questions.
What's that?
RDC,
Okay,
they would be provincial. They might be able to guide you a little better.
okay,
Sorry, yeah. Regional Development Corporation.
okay, okay. All right, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
So next on the agenda is petition, request, and/or delegation. Do we have any items under that topic?
I do not have anything tonight.
Okay. So next up is council member reports, and I don't have my cheat sheet, so I'm just gonna go around the table. We did have an order in there. We'll start with Councilor Murray.
Yeah, so nothing really to report on my end. There was a couple little things about people reaching out about the MB Power bills, which has been a thing of in question and stuff. So I took the time to, I'm gathering up people's bills and their usage and stuff, and I'm going to forward that off. And then other than that, there wasn't really a whole lot lately. So yeah. That's the end of mine.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Esty.
I have no report, thanks.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Jean Gras.
Yeah, I have a number of things to bring up today, so I'm going to try and do this quickly. Today is my first meeting as deputy mayor, and so I want to again thank my fellow councilors for their support and their confidence, and I certainly hope to live up to everybody's expectations. And I look forward to supporting our mayor and supporting the community as we move forward. I was pleased to participate as an alternate at the alternate to the mayor at the regional RSC meeting. It was a learning experience, and I was able to meet with a lot of other deputy mayors and alternates. And these are things that I would not have had the chance to do otherwise. And I want to inform Maple Hills parents of high school age children or kids about to enter high school at Harrison Trimble that they are offering an international baccalaureate program. They are the only school in Anglophone East School District who are offering the IB program. An information session is planned for February 20th at 6:30 at the high school auditorium. And applications for students wishing to take these courses will close on March 7th, and if you want more information, please attend the session. On Saturday, this coming Saturday, 4-H will be holding a communication competition featuring public speaking and presentations in both English and French. and I will be attending as one of the judges. It'll take place at the Dundas Church, so everybody is welcome if they want to watch some of our young take part in a competition. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Martin. Oh, I shut mine off, not yours. Counselor Martin.
This one's going to be pretty simple. As far as the turnout to the community rink, it's been excellent. A lot of people have been using it. We just got the new fire pit put in place. It was donated by local companies, Hilltop Fabrication, as well as Arc Industries, both locally owned companies, one off the 126 and one off Indian Mountain. Aside from that, there's been more interest into the trail systems themselves regarding the snowshoeing and winter activities for it. A resident has reached out and offered to groom some of the trails with his own equipment for residents to walk on and cross-country ski, etc. On top of that, Councillor Savoie and myself have been talking about creating a forum to allow the different community centers, community groups to coordinate, communicate with one another to help them all out. As we all know, volunteers are very difficult to come by, and funds and so on. So if we can get all them together, talking in one location, that should help all these groups out together. What was I going to say? That should be about it for me.
Okay, thank you. Counselor Savoie?
I had just a few residents reach out once again about conditions of the road, and I was more than happy to, in a sense, pass the buck, but communicate with them that our local MLA witnessed the conditions, deplorable conditions of some of our back roads in the community, and we're hoping that that's going to make its way to the DTI. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so there's a lot on the agenda, so I tried to keep this brief. I would like to start by thanking Councillor Martin for his service as Deputy Mayor. Councillor Martin served in the position for 2 terms and was open to doing a 3rd year. I hope that means that I wasn't terrible to work with. All joking aside, though, thanks for taking on the role for 2 years. You were always eager to help me and the community in any way you could, and I'm sure that won't change. Next, I'd like to congratulate Deputy Mayor Jean Gras, elected at our last regular meeting. The fact that you're willing to step up and take on this new role shows a willingness to put in extra time, which we all know is no small task when we also work full-time jobs. Thanks for the extra time you've put in already. Hopefully you find I'm not too hard to work for, and not just that Councillor Martin doesn't complain about it. There's a few ongoing items we continue to follow up on with DTI. Damaged signs on the dead end of Lucas Street, damaged mailboxes on Indian Mountain, and we continue to wait for a traffic report to further the request on the school zone sign for Mountain View. Just an update to let everyone know we didn't forget or miss any of these items. The Tourism Committee is well into web design for the Southeast Regional Tourism Promotion. I was able to see some sample pages they completed, and it's a very nice site. Maple Hills will have its own tab, but if users search the region as a whole and we offer what they're looking for, we'll pop up there as well. So there'll be definitely some promotion of our local businesses, and we'll share the site links when they're completed. The Public Safety Committee hasn't met since our last update, so I'll update further when we meet again. The Service Commission met last month. There was a presentation from Dr. Jennifer Russell on thinking outside the box with regard to healthcare. It was interesting and had some good points. Aside from that, we had our regular updates from the various departments. And finally, we continue to fine-tune our strategic plan and should have something to share with the residents in the near future, so stay tuned for more on that one. Okay, so on to bylaws, motions, resolutions, and administrative tools. And the first item is the rezoning application for Saffron Drive.
Perfect. So just for the record, we do have somebody who's joined us via Teams from the Planning Commission. If we have any questions, Sam is more than willing to help us. So in your guys' package there, the only thing that I've updated that's new is an additional letter of support that was received. Even though the window is technically closed for that, Sam kept us in the loop with any other letters of support that were coming in. support or against. This just happens to be an additional letter of support. And I've taken the liberty to put together some motions for you guys if you wanted to, if anybody wants to make a motion, that would open the conversation.
So I think everybody want to look at the various options we have this evening, and somebody can move on any of the, so the options are that we will refuse the rezoning application. We move to proceed with the second reading of the bylaw in it, by title, or in its entirety.
So basically, we just have the second reading by title. Third reading would be the reading in its entirety, and then third reading by title, sorry.
Sorry, I was looking for the last one. Or number 8 is
Number 8 at the bottom.
the approval. of it.
So that one would be, 8 would be the final one. If council was to proceed with second and third reading, then there's just one additional one.
So do we have any movers on any of the items? Okay, Counselor, oh, sorry, I'm going to do next in queue. I didn't see. Yep, Counselor Martin.
So, I move that we proceed with the second reading by title of bylaw number 21-WAP-069-MH-03, a bylaw to amend ministerial registry regulation 21-WAP-069-00.
Okay, do I have a seconder on that motion?
I'll second.
Oh, seconded by Deputy Mayor Jean Gras. Do we have any discussion on the topic before proceeding with? Okay. So I guess we're prepared to do the second reading by title?
Okay. Can we just check if Sam can hear us okay? Sam can hear us.
Oh,
Did we
sorry,
just take a
yes.
vote? Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, I
it
asked
was-
them if they had questions. Okay,
Okay.
sorry, are we ready for the question? We'll now proceed with the vote. All those in favor of proceeding with the second reading by title of bylaw number 21-WAP-069-M6-03, show your consent by saying yes. Yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Bylaw number 21, WAP-069-MH-03, a bylaw to amend ministerial regulation 21-WAP-069-00. So then we just adopt that, I just read that title.
Okay. So do we have a mover on adopting the reading? Go ahead.
I move that we adopt the second reading by title of bylaw number 21-WAP-069-MH-03, a bylaw to amend ministerial regulation 21-WAP-069-00.
Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Counselor Martin. Are we ready for the question?
Question.
We'll now proceed with the vote. All those in favor of adopting the reading in its entirety of bylaw 21-WAP-069-MH-03, show your consent by saying yes.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. So are we able to proceed to the third one?
Yep.
Okay.
So it would be the reading of its entirety. I mistakenly called it the third reading, but it's,
Okay. So
Reading
it's
its
third
entirety.
reading in its entirety.
yes.
Okay. So do we have a mover? Oh, Counselor Martin.
I move that we proceed with the reading in its entirety of bylaw number 21-WAP-069-MH-03, a bylaw to amend the ministerial regulation 21-WAP-069-00.
Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Counselor Savoy. Are we ready for the question? We'll now proceed with the vote. All those in favor of reading in its entirety bylaw number 21-WAP-069-MH-03, show your consent by saying yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Oops.
This is the worst part, you guys, but
Yep.
it's fairly short, so. Bylaw number 21, WAP-069-MH-03, a bylaw to amend ministerial regulation 21-WAP-069-00, the Westmoreland Albert Planning Area Rural Plan Regulation. The Council of the Rural Community of Maple Hills, under the authority vested in it by Section 44 and in accordance with Section 59 of the Community Planning Act, SNB 2017, Chapter 19, amends Ministerial Regulation 21-WAP-069-00, the Westmoreland Albert Planning Area Rural Plan Regulation, and enacts as follows. Number 1, Ministerial Regulation 21-WAP-069-00, filed in the Westmoreland County Registry Office on September 6, 2022, as number 430699906, is hereby amended as follows. Schedule A2, being the Westmoreland Albert Planning Area zoning map, is amended as shown on the map dated November 29th, 2024, attached hereto as Schedule A2. That's it.
Okay. So can we move to the last one all at the same time?
No, we'll adopt that. I just did the reading in its entirety. Number 5.
Okay. Do I have a mover on adopting the reading in its entirety? Moved by Counselor Savoy, go ahead.
I move that we adopt the reading of, in its entirety of bylaw number 21-WAP-069-MH-03, bylaw to amend ministerial regulation 21-WAP-069-00.
Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Deputy Mayor Jean Gras. Are we ready for the question?
Question.
We'll now proceed with the vote. All those in favor of adopting the reading in its entirety of bylaw number 21-WAP-069-MH-03, show your consent by saying yes.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried.
Okay, so then I'll just have somebody do oh, I'm sorry. We need one more. Third reading by title. Sorry.
Okay.
Just following suit here with
That's okay.
what our former CIO did, so.
Okay, do I have a mover on reading the third reading by title? Moved by Counselor Martin.
I move that we proceed with the third reading by title of bylaw number 21-WAP-069-MH-03, a bylaw to amend ministerial regulation 21-WAP-069-00.
Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Counselor Savoy. Are we ready for the question? We'll now proceed with the vote. All those in favor of proceeding with the third reading by title of bylaw number 21-WAP-069-MH-03, show your consent by saying yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried.
Okay. Bylaw number 21, WAP-069-MH-03. A bylaw to amend ministerial regulation 21-WAP-069-00.
Do we have a mover to adopt the third reading by title? Moved by Counselor Savoy.
I move that we adopt the third reading by title of bylaw number 21-WAP-069-MH-03, a bylaw to amend ministerial regulation 21-WAP-069-00.
Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Counselor Martin. Are we ready for the question?
Question.
We'll now proceed with the vote. All those in favor of adopting the third reading by title of bylaw number 21-WAP-069-MH-03, show your consent by saying yes.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried.
Now, I promise this is the last one. So I have the motion in here. This is a resolution of the council under the Community Planning Act. It's just the last resolution to make this formal.
Okay.
I have paper copies if this is easier than reading on here. If
Does
there's,
somebody want to move on this?
I will not ask you,
I was gonna say, does somebody
you-
other than Counselor Martin, so he doesn't have to read all of that, because he's probably not supposed to be doing that right now. Thank you.
yes,
Just one.
just starting at considering that Mark Bash trash.
There you go.
Resolution of the council is, oh, okay, just wait. Considering that Mark Bastarash has made an application to rezone the property bearing PID 70550934 to the RA zone rural area to allow a home industry use. And considering that the council has approved this request, subject to conditions, it is resolved that, 1, notwithstanding any other provisions of the contrary, the lands, buildings, and structures developed on the aforementioned property are subject to the following terms and conditions. A, that the permitted main uses of the property be limited to 1, a residential use subject to section 3.1, 2, a residential care use, 3, institutional uses subject to terms and conditions. B, that the permitted secondary uses of the property be limited to 1, an accessory dwelling unit subject to section 3.20, 2, a home-based business use subject to section 3.11, 3, a home industry use which shall be only a vehicle repair and inspection garage subject to section 3.11, 4, one or several buildings, structures, or accessory uses related to the main use of land, building, or structure. C, notwithstanding the requirements of section 3.11.3, the required setbacks for home industry uses shall be reduced from 10 meters from the property line to 7.31 meters, or 24 feet. D, that the operation of the business and future development of the property shall be done in substantial conformity to the attached site plan. E, that the existing vegetation and tree buffers along the south and west property lines remain and are maintained as buffers.
Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Counselor Martin. Are we ready for the question? We'll now proceed with the vote. All those in favor of adopting what Deputy Mayor Jean-Gras just read, show your consent by saying yes. Yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. All right. Congratulations, sir. Okay, next
Okay.
on the agenda, we have the Canada Community Building Fund.
Does anybody have any questions for Sam, or is he gone now? He's not gone? Does Sam have anything he would like to say to us?
He says, no questions, I'll leave the meeting.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam. Sorry, I kind of forgot he was there.
Okay, so I have just a little blurb I'm gonna read here, just for some background. In 2017, Environmental and Local Government prepared a guide to asset management planning for local governments following the province entering into a gas tax funding agreement, now known as the Canada Community Building Fund, committing to begin infrastructure-related asset management planning. Asset management planning leads to more informed decision-making, improved management of risks, and reduction of cost over time. In September, Maple Hills signed an agreement with the Canada Community Building Fund. Since that time, we've received our first installment of $176,749, and the community funding branch has been patiently awaiting for our 5-year capital plan. Once the plan has been developed and the infrastructure project or projects have been approved as qualifying infrastructure projects, the remaining installments will be provided to the local government on biannual payments. So back in July, Eve had engaged with Englobe to prepare a professional services proposal, including a 5-year plan and capital and asset management plan. So tonight, I've included a motion for council's consideration to proceed with, to further engage Englobe to proceed with preparing a capital investment plan and asset management plan 2025 to 2029.
So do
Yes.
we have a mover, do we have any, do we have a mover on this item? Moved by Counselor Murray.
Be it resolved that the Maple Hills Rural Community hire Englobe to prepare a capital investment plan, 2025 to 2029, as required to receive the funding allocation from the Canada Community Building Fund, CCBF.
Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Counselor Savoie. Are we ready for the question? We'll now proceed with the vote. All those in favor of hiring Englobe to prepare a capital investment plan, show your consent by saying yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Okay, so do we have any unfinished business, CAO Downey?
No.
Okay, so we do have a closed session, but we will take a 10-minute recess before we do the closed session, so we'll come hang out with you for a minute.